1.
Didn't quite succeed in holding the cue ball as he wanted. So again, running to safety. Yellow really the only viable option.
Mark Williams 1.
So close, but almost guaranteed to get cover. And although the red was very close to the pocket to make the necessary connection, it's never easy. Now Trump in this group has been dynamite in amongst the balls. The breaks of 112 and 101 with which he started that 3-0 semi-final win over Ryan Day took his total centuries for Group 5 to 6.
8.
In total, there have been 17 centuries
14.
in this group.
15.
The largest amount for one group this season, superseding the 16 centuries made in Group 2 back in January. The standard has been tremendous. In fact, so far in the tournament as a whole, we've seen 64 centuries.
21. 22. 27. 28.
'I know it's still a couple of months away, but
35.
I have a really good feeling about Judd Trump at the Crucible this year.
36.
'One of his greatest assets when it comes to a marathon tournament
42.
like the World Championship, the way he plays, he doesn't take an awful lot out of himself.
43.
And he's such a phenomenal scorer, getting better all the time.
$50. 51.
Always tricky, made to look easy. Out of position though.
57. Judd Trump, 57.
A very good break, but not quite decisive.
One.
Well, he was unsuccessful with a long-range plant that allowed Trump in for the 57 break he's just made. There, that one was a fluke. But Williams has the audacity to get back into this. Okay, the yellows under a side cushion, one red, equally awkward.
No.
But you never know. He's a real craftsman when it comes together. And there's a possibility of a clearance.
$14. $50.
Now, has he played for a possible double?
21.
Well, it was always going to be do or die. It caught the near jaw, and now Trump, 39 in front, 43 on. That's got a straightforward frame ball.
One and the frame.
So with Trump at the table, Mark Williams realises that the game's up, and he concedes. And so very quickly, as you would expect between these two, Judd Trump takes a 1-0 lead. The bedrock of that success, his break of 57. What we do know already is that if Judd Trump wins this match, it would be, during the course of his career, the 6th time he's won a group in the Championship League. Not including the winners' groups, of course. Next best on that list, Joe Perry, who's won 4 groups.
The second frame, Mark Williams to break.
Looks as though the red will pot between yellow and brown.
One.
Williams has got a full week this week.
Seven.
He's elected to enter the shootout, which is a tournament I know that he enjoys. And this time he's going to be down in Watford, as he was in Reading last year, with his family, his wife and 3 children. So if he were to lose this match tonight, he would go forward to Group 6 and play here Wednesday and Thursday, and then he'd be involved in Watford on Friday. Now forced to use the branding iron. It's a cumbersome implement, but it does a job. It provides reach and elevation together.
$22. Mark Williams, 22.
Always looked as though Williams had marginally overcut that shot. When you're cutting back into a blind pocket, always difficult, especially when the pocket in question is quite some way away.
1.
So will deadly Trump swoop again?
Five. 6.
Beautiful shot. Knew the way he played that. He had to come very close to the red. He didn't want to make contact with it, and it was just avoided.
14.
He did want to make contact there, though, but not quite as thick as that. Wanted to flick off the pack more, open a couple.
Got Trump, 14.
A Mark Williams special. For many years, he was regarded as the best single ball potter in snooker.
Mark Williams,
There, though, the black was asking an awful lot. And in the end, fortunate, the cue ball collided with the brown. Rankings-wise, Williams in danger of dropping out of the top 16, and if he does, he'll have to qualify for the Crucible and the World Championship for only the second time in a couple of decades. Well, tried to attain containment, but he's left a red to middle. And Trump is oozing confidence. Well, the intention there was to take the cue ball into the bunch.
8.
The only problem was he caught the black a little too thin, even though he potted it. And that's why the cue ball went nowhere near.
Judd Trump, 8.
Well, Trump, a little unlucky there. Knew by playing that shot the only red he could possibly leave was the one he went for. Now this is the attempt on the black.
1.
Now Williams is on the black, but in terms of a positional future, there is none.
Mark Williams, 1.
Well, having played the shot very aggressively like that, he's been really lucky to come out safe. That's one thing about Trump's game that a lot of people underestimate, his safety game. You won't see a lot of it in this match because I think both are in attack mode. But defensively, he can be very good indeed. He's certainly better than a lot of people give him credit for. See what I mean? Earning a tap on the table from Williams. Well, I can only assume he went for that pot. If he did, it was a gross misjudgment, miles away. And now Trump is bang in amongst them.
Okay. 1.
No clear obstacle between Trump and 2-0.
Eight. 9. 16. 17. 24. 25.
The highlight of Trump's season so far, winning the inaugural European Masters in Bucharest, Romania.
32. 33.
But he's been there or thereabouts in so many other tournaments. Runner-up to Liang Wenbo in the English Open. Semi-finalist in the International Championship.
40.
Semi-finalist in the Scottish Open. And of course runner-up at the Welsh Open just a couple of nights ago.
41.
And now, pretty much assured, 2-0 in this final.
47. 49. 52.
He's pretty nifty, right-handed, on the quiet.
56.
But he's absolutely brilliant, left-handed.
61.
So, Judd, pot one from there.
Well, Judd Trump 61. Mark Williams 6. Frame Judd Trump.
Of course, the frame is conceded. And so the Judd juggernaut continues on. 57 break in the opening frame, 61 in the second. And just like that, terrific Trump leads by 2 frames to 0. Now don't forget, at the end of this match, that doesn't mean the action's over for the week here at the Ricoh Arena in Coventry. We're back bright and early tomorrow morning for the start of Group 6. And I can tell you, 6 of the 7 players who will be involved. The 7th, of course, is the loser of this final. So taking their places tomorrow, Ryan Day, who's been a fixture in Championship League this year, began his quest in Group 1 and he's still going. Sean Murphy, Stuart Bingham, who was 5th in this group, so he'll have to fight again. And the new boys coming in, ranking event winners, all 3. Ricky Walden, Martin Gould, and the runaway world number 1, Mark Selby. So, a group to look forward to.
The third frame, Judd Trump to break.
Will Williams needs something special to get back into the match. And after a pot like that, he deserved more. Had the cue ball come to rest a couple of inches earlier, everything would have been fine and dandy.
Mark Williams 1.
Well, Trump has left a red. But again, a colour proving elusive for Williams. Unless he takes on something very high risk.
Mark Williams, 1.
Wow.
1.
And this time, look at the kiss on the blue. Now, if Trump could come down here and land on the red that's closest to the black. Ah.
Foul. Mark Williams 1. Sorry, Judd Trump 1. Mark Williams 5.
A hat-trick of annoyance.
Mark Williams 1.
3 good reds spotted by Williams. Just 3 points to show for it. Trump knows from positive recent experience that being 2 down, 3 to play is most certainly not insurmountable. I was telling you that he won the European Masters in Romania last autumn. Well, he did so by beating Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final. Trump won 9-8, having trailed 8-6. So although he'll be feeling comfortable at the moment, he won't be feeling invincible.
One.
4 reds for Williams. And again, he just can't buy a colour.
Mark Williams 1.
And so for the 3rd time already in this frame, he pots a red and has no option but to nestle in behind a colour for a snooker. And, as before, that snooker yielded precious little. I think he does have a shot to nothing, though. The red on the right-hand side of that bunch of 6. Now, this could be costly, the way Trump's been potting. If he can float this one in. Nowhere near. That could be very costly indeed.
One.
Now there he tried to stun down a little more than
6.
the cue ball actually travelled. Didn't intend to try and pot this red.
Seven.
If Trump wins this frame, of course he will win Group 5.
14. 15.
And total earnings from the group for him will be £6,600.
$22. 23.
'Hasn't been a bad group for Mark Williams though.
30. 31.
And he's in line for the £500 bonus for the high break of the group. A 142 total clearance in the first match this morning here on table 1 when he beat Stuart Bingham 3-2.
37. 38.
This is the 5th of 7 qualification groups to make it to the winners group next week. The winners group, by the way, taking place on Wednesday and Thursday next week. Already in the winners group, Dave Gilbert, Anthony McGill,
44.
Mark Davis, Barry Hawkins.
$45.
And now it would seem Trump on the verge of joining them.
$49.
The lead is 41, so this red and any colour.
Thank you. 50.
Well, Judd Trump was spectacular in the semi-finals, making 2 century breaks on the way to beating Ryan Day 3-0. In this match, he's
58.
been extremely efficient. And it's a really early evening finish here at the Ricoh Arena in
65.
Coventry. Group 5 has reached a rapid conclusion.
66.
And there's just enough on the table for Trump to finish off with a century.
$73. 75.
Come on, Judd. It would be his 7th century of the group.
78.
Head and shoulders the best player.
82.
Bear in mind he won each of his 6 round robin matches.
87.
The pick of the Group 5 bunch.
93. 100. Frame.
Judd
Mark.
Trump is heading to the winners group
Thanks, Mark.
again. He's won the Championship League overall on a record 3 occasions, and who would bet against him making it 4 here next week. Breaks of 57, 61 and around 100 clearance enable Trump to beat Mark Williams 3-0 and be crowned the Group 5 champion. So don't forget, back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock for the start of Group 6. The 7 players involved will be Ryan Day, Sean Murphy, Stuart Bingham, Mark Williams and the 3 new boys, Ricky Walden, Martin Gould and the world number 1, Mark Selby. Hope to have your company on the morrow. Until then, thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye.